I want to chime in on something that I think is very interesting. The pre-order details right now for Forza Horizon 5, is causing a lot of excitement. But guys, this isn't anything new. When a new game's coming out, usually it'll find itself on top of the pre-order list. That's just something interesting. So sales are still going to go ahead and prove what, this game is going to offer at the end of the day. There's no doubt about that. In fact, MLB The Show, it has a good moving in terms of numbers. I mean, since it made its way to Xbox, it had its highest sales, according to Berkshire Hathaway and some investor, analyses. And so it topping the charts over Forza Horizon, is interesting because it shows that, yes, it's going to push some numbers and then Forza is going to come behind it. So in the grand scheme of impressiveness, 2K25 WWE is going to smoke all of them by leaps and bounds. I was talking to a colleague, and a colleague was like, "Man, I'm ready for this game to come out. I already went ahead and pre-ordered it. It's gonna show up, and I'm just gonna chill this weekend, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it." It's like, "Oh, my wife was trying to tell me to play the game the following weekend, blah 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 blah," and I was like, "Nope." And I was like, "What game is this?" Because I don't play WWE, and he was like, "WWE," and that hit me. I said, "Bam." Can you imagine your colleague basically giving you Piscatella vibes? You're just like having, you're just sitting down during lunch, you're talking with colleagues and stuff. And, it's a very interesting thing. These days, a lot of folk, we game, and you find out it's one of the top 15, right? So this game is going to really go ahead and it's going to really, it's going to push some numbers, because of the, how do I put it? It's got the hype behind it. It's got the WWE franchise that a lot of people can, relate to at the end of the day. So you will see this game push a number of copies. Now, when you think about all of this, though, it appears to me that Xbox sees itself in the same light as, say, the publisher of WWE 2K25, and also sees itself in a similar light as PlayStation and Nintendo, and also sees itself in a similar light as, Apple and Google and, a lot of these big tech companies, because it actually is in that light. And so when Satya Nadella said that he wanted to go ahead and redefine what the Xbox fan is, I think that means that they now want to go in and establish franchises, not just push individual games into PlayStation, but establish franchises that PlayStation players can not only play, but look forward to playing now henceforth. Does that make sense? So a game like Forza opens up a door for continuous guaranteed leverage on the PlayStation platform. And again, what taught them to do this? Why would they even do this? Well, the answer is simple. Minecraft has been raking in money for a very long time on PlayStation. Then they got their hands on Call of Duty and are now raking in tons of money as well from there. They also were able to get their hands on, Overwatch as well. And then they've also been able to see how this has worked for them in PC, on the PC side, with games like Age of Empires, their Halo game, their Gears game, everything that so far, they've put on PC, they've seen some benefits, not with all the games, but most of their games have seen benefit from leveraging audiences in that regard. So I see where they've looked at this racing game. They're probably making Forza Horizon 6 for their next console, and they're thinking to themselves, how can we make Forza Horizon, which has had about 40 plus million players, how can we make Forza double in, say, its potential player base? Not saying that they're going to do it on PlayStation, but they already have the full 40 million Xbox and PC altogether. That's big, by the way. If you guys don't realize how big 40 million is, that's pretty much most of who played Tom Clancy's The Division 1 and 2. Okay, if you were wondering. So for Forza Horizon 5 to be able to bring that out without PlayStation is interesting to me, how well this is actually done. So in looking at that number, they can leverage and then add to their ranks, to their coffers, the Forza brand, new PlayStation players, and then implement cross-play across the board, building an entire, franchise line and ecosystem that would allow for these games to keep selling for years to come. It's similar to what, say, companies like Ubisoft has done with Assassin's Creed, similar to what WWE has done with its 2K25, similar to what Yakuza is doing, similar to what Monster Hunter is doing. So as a publisher, they're leaning into their third party, essence, which I've always argued that they are wasting time doing, by the way, because they're sitting on a library of possibility and potential. If you were to ask me, I just strongly believe that their approach is not aggressive enough. They really need to tune it up, because the conversation here is they've already served their audience with something very spectacular, which is Game Pass. They've already served their audience with something very interesting at the end of the day, which gives them a value that they can't find anywhere. Now, some people may say that they're not really fond of Game Pass, that they would prefer whatever it is, exclusives and all that. Okay, well, if you prefer those exclusives and stuff, there are other platforms that you can enjoy them. In fact, it's become very interesting. I saw a string of comments today on Twitter, and somebody was saying, these developers that are working with Game Pass, they're now basically in my bad books or something, or my bad graces. They were saying something along the lines of that. And I'm not going to give them any money until the games go on sale, because why would I have to pay full price for the game while Xbox gamers are getting the games for a subscription fee on Game Pass? That's literally what I saw. I was going to bookmark it, but I was like, I don't care. Right? And I was laughing because I was like, it's essentially what people have been saying for the longest time. You may say, oh, Game Pass is full of games that I don't want to play. But the moment one game that you want to play appears on Game Pass, guess what's going to happen? Your brain is going to question you and say, man, could I be playing this game in this particular paradigm, or could I just pay, the $70 for it? Some people, they'll say, well, we're going to pay the $70 without any thought. We're going to buy a game like Doom Dark Ages, no problem. But I saw the person complain and say, this Expedition 33, I'm only going to buy it on sale. And I'm also going to only buy Forza Horizon 5 on sale. I'm not giving them full monies. And I'm like, I don't think they'll be mad at you. I think they'll be elated that you gave them, that you sought to give them your hard-earned cash, be it $50 or $5. And I think that's where the whole thing comes into some interesting perspective, because, again, it seemed imperative that everybody was talking about how this was going to cause this problem and blah, blah, blah. The brand has been weakened. I keep seeing this stuff on Twitter. I'm not responding. I'm just watching and reading. But a lot of people, they can't necessarily wrap their minds around the fact that a dead brand or a dying brand is one that is not profitable or making revenue. That's what you call a dead brand. A dead brand is not one that's actually being built in your image or one that's making you warm in your belly inside. It's one that is actually capable, incapable of bringing, revenue and bringing profits. That's what a dead brand is. So, enough with that. Talk to me in the comment section. I guess you're seeing now the whole thing unfold if you're taking a look at it. However you perceive it, I can't help it, or you can perceive it however you want. But I think at the end of the day, in the next few releases from Xbox to PlayStation, you're going to see some really interesting stuff. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.